Well, students, today we are viewing how to do the practical on defining names, name to a range. Session 7, applying name range. So first of all, we have to take some data. I have taken it already, a range of data to be selected first of all, and then you have to go to the formulas tab, and under the formulas tab, under the define names group, you have to click onto the define name, and when you are clicking onto the define name, a drop down list will come. Again, you have to choose the define name. Now see, this is the new name dialog box. You have to assign a name out here. Say I am giving it, say adding. Okay, now you have to give it scope. Scope means wherever you will give. If you want to keep it only your sheet, you have to give it under the sheet 1, sheet 2, whatsoever. Now my active sheet, you have to see always which sheet is active. My sheet 2 is active, so I will select active sheet as sheet 2. Fine. If you want to give some comment or remark, you can give it, otherwise you may omit this. Adding marks. Okay, now you see the things are ready. Now I'm clicking on OK in order to create the range with the name adding. This is the name of the range adding. So you have to remember it. When you will use it, you have to use it in formula. Clear? Okay. Now is clicking on OK. All right. Now you see out here, use in formula is active. Now where you want to apply the things, you can apply it. Suppose I'm applying out here the sum of the marks, so equals to sum I will give out here, and then I have to go to the using formula, then I have to give the range name as adding. Fine. Now adding has been given, close the formulas, and then adding, this adding has been done, the sum of the total has to come. Suppose you want to use the maximum marks. If you want to see the same thing, the same range you can use out here, use in formula, and then click on adding, and then clicking over here, then the maximum marks to be shown. Similarly, if you want to find out the average, give AVE average formula, and then define the name over here, say adding. Fine. And then clicking over here. Okay, so in this way any formulas can be used, okay, by you, okay, whenever you are defining a name. Now see, there is a name option called name manager under the same tab. Clicking on name manager, you can see three things out here new. From here also you can, if you want, you can define a name range. So if you want to do the editing of the same range, you can click over here. So adding has come. Suppose if I want to add some extra marks over here or something over here, say I have to do it up to $8, $D, see have been highlighted, and then $9, up to $9 if I want to do, I can do it still there. Okay, $D, $9. So now the thing is that it has been edited. Now I'm closing it. Now you have to add it over here. Say I'm using another name, say Samir, and Samir has got, say 90 out here. Now you see, so whenever I am using the name range, say I am doing the sum out here once again, and I am giving it the same range, the current value also will be taken. You have seen the highlighted portion is taking the current value, indicating the current value. Now press enter. Now see, the sum has been done. Here also it has been changed since I have edited the name range. Suppose if you want to now do the max out here, max, and then you have to use this one as new formula, say adding. Okay, so the new range will be applicable, so the it has also changed, the max has become 90. Suppose if you want to do the mean, okay, equals to mean you give, and then if you want to use it again, you use it adding. Okay, then you do the minimum marks will be displayed. In this way any formulas can be used with the same range. Suppose now how to delete this. Okay, so click on name manager and select the things and click on delete. It will be deleting the things out here. Okay, so that is the thing. So this is the practical activity that we have done on define name range as well. Fine. So this is these options have already have explained in the Google Classroom, and you follow the practical activity of this one and kindly do the practical of this particular activity. So what is this? This is session 7 and applying cell range and the name. Okay, fine. So the what is the option? Important options, formulas. Then you have to go to the define name. Under the define names group, name manager is useful because from here you can create also the new range, you can edit, you can delete also. So thank you, students. For that reason, what you have to do is, first of all, you have to open Microsoft Excel, and after opening Microsoft Excel, you have to fill few data in some of the cells, then we can go for the utility. Now watch carefully what are the things I'm doing out here, and especially you have to watch the group the tab, the options available out here. Then only you will understand the AutoSum utility of MS Excel, a very powerful utility. First, I am going to the blank workbook. Whatever version you are using, I am using Office 365, the updated version. Okay, now you have to click on blank workbook wherever you go. So it will open a blank workbook for you. Wait a while. So here is the Excel. These are called grid lines, formula bar. You can see this is the name box and this is the different cells and all. Now you can see the AutoSum tool is available out here. You can see there are a lot of utilities in the AutoSum. If I'm clicking on the downward arrow, it will show me the different type of options available under the AutoSum. Next, what we have to do is we have to fill the data. You have to fill the cells with data. You see, you can do sum, average, count numbers, max, mean, etc. Okay, now in the first cell, it is the home cell. I am taking few values. Say it is 23. Sorry. Now I have to put it off first of all. Then I have to go there. Then any cell I can take. Say the first value is 23. Next is I am taking out here 45. Next is I am taking 34. Next is I am taking 24. Next I am taking 45. Now you see out here these 5 values I have taken and I have highlighted this one as well. You can see out here. And now what I'm doing is I am just clicking on AutoSum. The sum has been calculated out here. Alright, now same set of data I'm just copying out here. Just out here, highlighted the things, right click. I have chosen here copy, and then I'm pasting it out here, right click and choose the paste out here. The paste is gone. Paste is here. Okay, I've done simply paste out here. Now you see out here I'm going to the AutoSum. This time I did not highlight, and let's say I want to find out the average. See, if I don't highlight the things, the formula is showing me equals to average D3 D7. But if you are highlighting the whole thing, in that case it will be showing you the result directly. Okay, this is a 34.2. 34.2 is the average. Okay, I'm pressing Ctrl V in order to paste it. No, actually you see out here I have to copy it by pressing Ctrl C is the shortcut available. Ctrl V. Now it has been highlighted. Now once again you see out here how I'm doing. Okay, now I'm showing here maximum of this. Okay, maximum it is highlighted. You see the automatically the result will be available. Yes, the result has been available as 45 is the maximum value. Now you see the same way I did not highlight anything and I am counting the numbers now. So first of all what I'll do is that what I will do, no sorry, I will first of all highlight the whole data, whole set of data. Okay, fine. Then pressing Ctrl C in order to copy, and then Ctrl V in order to paste. Now let's you see. Now let us see here. This is the sum, and I'm doing now count numbers. Count numbers. This time I'm not highlighting anything. Okay, fine. I'm keeping my cell pointer out here, and I'm not doing anything. I'm just choosing count numbers. You see this time the formula has been displayed. That means what, whenever you are displaying the things, whenever you are highlighting the things, then automatically result comes. But if you are not highlighting and keeping the cursor just below, then in that case it is showing you the formula. Then you press enter, then it will show you the 6. This is called count numbers as well, and this is the one I'm highlighting right now. Okay, again Ctrl C, and here I'm writing Ctrl V out here, placing out here. Now I'm doing the mean. Okay, now you see the minimum numbers will be shown out here. So 23 is the minimum value that has been displayed out here. So in this way we will be able to use the AutoSum utility that is available in Microsoft Excel. Very handy utility, and you have to remember that where we are going for, it is available under the home tab. This is the tab we call. This is the different tabs you can see out here: insert tab, draw tab, page layout, formula. This is called ribbon, and I'm going to the home tab out here. In that case home tab will be shown. So where is the AutoSum utilities available? That is under the home tab. Well students, after the AutoSum we are going to do conditional formatting. Now see its availability and how to do its practical implementation. First of all, we are going to the file which is already preset. Okay, I had saved it before. Okay, so you can also make it ready, okay, before doing the conditional formatting. Now next, where we have to go, so you can see out here it is under the availability, is under home tab. Conditional formatting is available, and it is under the styles group. So home tab, styles group, conditional formatting. Now the portion you want to apply the conditional formatting, first the thing you need to do the highlight. Now the highlighted has not been done properly. You have to do the portion exactly where you need to apply the conditional formatting. Okay, now you see here how I do. So I have highlighted it. Just a minute. Just insert one row out here first of all. Otherwise, the column header are also getting highlighted. So now I see out here. So I will do the entire row out here. One row I will highlight. So it will come down once. Okay. So now we will not the whole thing. We will do apply it only on the marks. Okay. All right. Now you see, so this is the heading. You can see the headings and all, and the marks have been highlighted. Now we go to the conditional formatting. Now we have the two things are there. Highlighted cell rules is also there. Will greater than, lesser than as well. You can do between. You can do, but we will go for more rules. Okay, that will be better. More rules. You will have the independently. You can create your rules. Okay, more rules. You can go to the, you can see out here the more rules. New formatting style has appeared over here. You have to appear the cell value. Yeah, there are several options available. When you will do the text or date, something like that, you have to choose it accordingly. And specific text you can choose, but we are doing with the value, we will keep it as cell value. Suppose I want to do the between. Okay, between means some marks between say 50 to 80. I will do it in blue color. I will do it in 80 color, blue color. After the setting the range, what I will do, I will go to the format button. Fine. Now next format, it will come out here. So I'm clicking with bold and italics, and I am choosing underline. Yes, of course. Double underline I'm choosing, and then I'm choosing automatic. Okay. Of course, the formatting is of yours. Okay. So I'm making it in blue color. Fine. So after this, what I will do, I will do OK. Fine. Then I will click on OK. Then it will be done. You see the range between have chosen between 50 to 80, all had become in blue color. Okay, this is the way to do the conditional formatting. However, if you want to cancel the conditional formatting, or if you want to remove it, so what you have to do, first of all, home tab, styles group, and you have to go to the conditional formatting once again, and then you have to go to the clear rules. Now clear rules, there are two options. One is clear rules from selected cells, another is clear rules from entire sheet. So what you have to do is you have to do from clear rules from selected cells, since you are not using the entire sheet. Okay, so click on over here, all the formattings will become normal. Now I am showing one text value. Okay, so I'm highlighting all the names. Say here I want to print all the names that have been started with R. Now what I will do, I will go to the conditional formatting first of all, and then I will go to the highlighted cells, then sub menu, and then choose the more rules. And here instead of cell value, what I will do, I will keep it a specific text. After doing the specific text containing and all, beginning with whatsoever options are there, you can understand it. Containing means the particular letter if it contains, and then not containing means does not contain. Beginning with means it started with. So we will keep beginning with, and I will give what R. So now the format we will do is click on format, and we will make it bold and italics also at the same time. Automatic color I will choose here red colored. Okay, and then choose OK, and then choose OK. See, the name that has been started with R has become red in red color. Once more I am showing you with another utility, conditional formatting, then coming to the more rules option, and then coming to the specific text, and then I'm saying that containing, and containing say with J will become strike through. That contains with J will become strike through. Okay, format, then strike through option to be chosen out here, and then color will be automatically, I'll choose at say at orange. Okay, then bold. Okay, then OK afterwards, and then OK. Fine. So you see that contains the word J has become strike through. Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain you the practical steps of hide, unhide, and fridge pens. That is the fridge row and columns. So first of all, you have to open Microsoft Excel. Here I have made a worksheet beforehand. That's why I'm doing with this. So this is my working sheet out here. This is the worksheet out here. You can see the 4 set of data has been taken out here. Now I will show you how to do hide and unhide. So whatever you want to do the hide, if it is a row, first highlight the rows. After that you have to go to the home tab. Then you have to go for hide and unhide row. Then the main block is what? Cells. So home, cells, and in the format option you will get it the hide and unhide rows. So you see out here hide is highlighted, and this is the visibility. Another visibility option, you can see the hide rows. Okay, so first of all you are hiding the rows. So once you are doing the hiding the rows, so it will be hidden. So moment you see it has been hidden. Now if you want to unhide the rows, in that case what you will do, you will first of all highlight the before rows and after rows like this, and then you go for format, and then you will do hide and unhide. Same thing again, and in this case you will do unhide rows. So it will be again revealed out here. Okay, now if you want to do the same thing with column, then highlight the columns, and in that case you will go to the same home tab, cells group and format option. From here you come to the visibility subgroup, and you will come hide and unhide, and in that case you have to do the hide columns. So the columns will be hidden. So now the thing is that again in the same way the before column and after columns to be taken, and then go to the format once again and go to the hide and unhide, then unhide columns. So the columns will be again revealed. So in this way you will do the hide and unhide part of the Microsoft Excel. So you can do the same thing by using the keyboard shortcut Control 0, and you are hiding the columns. All right, and whenever you want to pick several columns, if they are non-adjacent, in that case you have to select it by using the control key. Our next utility is Fridge Pen. How to do this Fridge Pen? First of all you have to know that under which group it is available. The Fridge Pen is available under the Windows group of View tab. You can see here the View tab, then you have to go up to the Windows group, and then you can see the Fridge Pens. There are 3 types of Fridge Pens available. One is the Fridge Pens, Fridge top row, and Fridge first column. So you are coming with the Fridge Pen. All right, now the thing is that suppose if you want to fridge this particular column, sorry, particular heading out here, so you have to fix it out here, and in that case what will you do, and you will do the Fridge Pens. Now if you scroll up and down, you see out here what is happening. You see the first row, this one remain fixed, and then other data are being scrolling. This is applicable when the number of data is more, and in that case if you cannot see the headings properly, you will not be able to enter the proper data. In that case you can do it. All right, okay, and the thing is that this is the very important for you. Why? Because it is not possible for us all the time to see the row heading and column heading whatsoever every time. So that's why it is better to freeze it. After that you can enter the data easily. Whenever the data will be completed, it will be scrolled up, and the heading will remain right out here. Okay, heading will be fixed out here. This is called Fridge Pens. And if you want to remove the Fridge Pen, the same thing, View tab, you have to come to the Windows group and then Fridge Pen, and after that Unfridge Pen. Similarly, if you want to do the first column, keep it out here. Here you keep, okay, and you see the Fridge Pen out here. Then go to the fridge, the top row. I'm going to the fridge, the top row. You see then what is happening on the top row. You see top row has been fixed out here. The row number 1 has been fixed out here. All right, and then if you want to do the unfreeze out here, then unfreeze when you do, again it will come. Whether you do a top row or the first column, you have to do the unfreeze by using the Fridge Pen only. Okay, now it's showing you the first column. So see out here the first column, you see Fridge Pen, again the View tab under Windows group, Fridge Pen, Fridge first column. So whatever column you are keeping your cursor, that will be fridge. Now if you are scrolling by using the horizontal scroll bar, you see it is remain fixed, and the thing is that first column has been fixed, and then it is going